Peace once again. That's how we doing this. Yo, I forgot to tell y'all, I just got a package in, right? This package I've been waiting on for a little minute. One of my brothers, man, been down in New Orleans. And while he been down in New Orleans, he went on an expedition, of course. And on his expedition, he messed around and sent me some things. Because he know how I do. He know I like that root. I like that herbs. And man, oh my goodness gracious God, a great balls of fire, man. Man, send me all. Ooh, wee. See, this is like when you connected, man, and you do things for people. People do things for you. And my brother, man, thank you, man. I ain't gonna call your name out, but boy, good looking, man. We going to work tonight with. I got some shit to do with this. You know what I mean? He went on a collection mission, man, and you know what I mean. Thanks, but that's how it rock. And we utilize these things, man. Sacred places is something that I wanted to elaborate on for a little few minutes with y'all. The knowledge and of sacred places, because we don't in America. I guess we don't understand that we have sacred places here. That there are ceremonies and things happening here for the veneration of our ancestors. When you go down like the Edisto Beach and you go down to Amelia Island, St. Helena Island, Dafuski Island, you go all down to these places, man. There's a lot of people that's gathering on certain days and things like that. They're during certain times of year to give veneration to their ancestors, especially out there on the beaches by the water. You see what I'm saying? Because these are sacred places. These are places that we have designated as places that where we go as root workers to pay homage and give veneration to our ancestors who died during the transatlantic slave trade. So these sacred places is where we do rituals at, collective rituals. And for the most part, I've been, trying to encourage a lot of root workers, local and all over America, to kind of get together and go to these sacred places. Slave ports are sacred places. Slave jails are sacred places. We go there, we harness the energy from that, and we use that in our root work. So having the knowledge of sacred places is the same thing as having that same type of knowledge that's in Africa about sacred places. There's sacred trees and things like that. For us, our sacred trees, the sacred trees that many of our ancestors lost their life on. There are many huge trees and slave and plantation areas that were used, documented, and also, but that were used for the lynching and hanging of slaves. So the spirits of our ancestors are on those trees directly. You have to imagine the blood pouring from people being executed at these places, the blood that poured on the ground to that tree, and that tree has a spirit, you see. So by the merging of the spirits, by the assassinations of African people, and their blood going down into certain trees and certain areas all over South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, these lynchings were public. You can look it up. You can find all of the public lynching notices. They have addresses to these places that were done on trees. And these specific trees hold the blood, the direct blood of our ancestors who were slaughtered there. That's right. So when we do our conjure work, when we do our veneration work to our ancestors, the sacred places where many of our ancestors were lynched, the sacred places where many of the battles that were fought for freedom are sacred to us. This is where we draw our energies from when we collectively go places. So I'm out here in Maryland, you know what I mean? And I'm near the Potomac River. I'm near the Potomac River. So what I'm doing in another 2 weeks, and this is for anybody who's in the DMV, Maryland, Washington, D.C. area, if you want to come out with me, in another 2 weeks, we going out do some river work for the ancestors or out at the Potomac. Juice brings some soda for the most part, and we're going to connect and we're going to do some. For people that don't know, I'm definitely going to show you guys how to do veneration to your ancestors at the water, and draw on the spirits and give them offerings and and commemorate them, in various ways. I'm gonna show y'all how to do that out there at the water. So I'm gonna be there at the Potomac River. It's gonna be in 2 weeks. I'll get back on and announce the date. But if anybody in the D.C. Maryland area interested, just get at me, hit me up. Hi, Medicine Man. Do you offer classes online? I actually offer one-on-one sessions. Yes, I do. I offer one-on-one sessions. So you can definitely give me a call or email me at medicinemale21 at gmail. Email me, and I'll definitely fill you in on how my one-on-one sessions go. Okay, I'll let you know. Hit me up. If anybody have any questions while I'm on live, feel free to ask. Other than that, you say, wow, never wish I lived in the DMD before. Yeah, nobody on the West Coast do things like that. That's kind of amazing that nobody on the West Coast do it, because there's a lot of um, ATRs, African traditional religion, the religious groups over there. I would think for the most part that a lot of people would actually be doing it, man. But down south, we do it a lot. Do it a lot, man. They do it in the Miami area, the Jacksonville area, all throughout the Carolinas, um, and definitely in the Georgia area too. You know what I mean? Beaufort. You go down to Beaufort, you always find the Geechee Nation. If you look them up online, they always have events going on down inside the Carolinas. The Carolinas. Queen Love, just email me, sweetie. That's all you have to do. Email me. We'll talk about everything. Because I am. If you don't live in Oakland here, it's tough. Yeah, I know. I know. I've been over there to Oakland. Actually, I went to Oakland and Long Beach. Out there, I've been on Crenshaw Boulevard. There's a Whirlpool distribution center. Had to actually go down there to take care of some business, and I enjoyed myself in Crenshaw, man. They talk crazy about Crenshaw, man. I had a ball, man. You know what I mean? Had a ball. They boys showed me love, man. Yeah, had a ball. Okay, Queen Love. You know what? When I get offline, email me. Email me now, so when I get offline, I can go ahead and directly answer you with that one there. Because I think we might have missed contact with one another. Something happened. Something happened. All right, y'all. Let me see if I got any more questions out here, man. Y'all know every time I'm online, I be taking questions. The libation ceremony, the libation ceremony, is one thing, and where you pour libation. That's part of it. Actually, it's part of it. But see, what I kind of pretty much teach is how to approach the water spirits in totality. So when you come out there to work with me, like I said, I'm gonna show everybody how to work with the water spirits in regards to giving offerings, because sometimes we need to appease the spirits that work the strongest for us. And I'm one of the type of people that definitely hold on to the idea that many of our people died during the transatlantic slave trade, and we are people in America mainly blessed by the water spirits. For the most part, we blessed by the water spirits. Everything that we do is, I had people all the time telling me about snakes, and that's water spirits. Dreaming about snakes, you're dreaming about water spirits. You know what I mean? And I think that in most of our bloodlines, we have these water spirits, and they're ready to work for us. They're ready to work for us big time. What water spirits do you invoke, man? Your name is Takia Jet or called to. It just depends on what you're working with. Everybody have particular spirits, and one of the things about uncovering your spirits is when you uncover your spirits, you uncover the nature of the spirit also. So you might have a Haitian spirit, for example, and your Haitian spirit might be Urzuli Frida. And Urzuli Frida is water spirits. You know what I mean? So you understand things in that nature. You see what I'm saying? That just if that's your spirit. But if you were into Ifa, your spirit may be Moya. Yami Moja or Oshun, water spirits. You see what I'm saying? Or it might be in voodoo, it might be Dambala or Weedle. I mean, so it's just endless on the water spirits, but um, you definitely want to stay connected. to the water spirits. But that's what we're going to be doing, out there at the Potomac. All right, I got another question. Say, how can you know if crystals are real when purchased? Also, how can I charge them? Tasha Hodges. I would recommend you buy your crystals raw. I would also recommend that if you're gonna buy them from a crystal mine. They have a lot of them in Arizona. Um, and there's one I found on Etsy, a crystal mine. No, on eBay. I found this one on eBay. It's a crystal mine out in Brazil. In Brazil, there's some awesome crystals, man. Awesome. So, and that's what you want to do. Find the crystal mines instead of ordering tumbled crystals, because tumbled crystals lose their power, sort of, kinda. The tumbling machine, and it has to rumble and rumble and rumble to make it smooth and give it make it real round and smooth, and then they polish it on top of that. So all of that chemical and electronic uh, contact, it demagnetizes the crystals. You know what I mean? So you have to kind of put more work in it to get everything back up and running on the crystal. But I recommend you order from the mines. How can you know crystals are real? Excuse me. Well, you have to know your crystals. You're gonna have to know your crystals. One and two, you have to feel the energy. If they're not real, then it might be they're probably glass. And the best glass test is just to drop it on the solid floor. Drop it on the solid floor. If it breaks up and shatters, then you're dealing with a fake crystal. Besides roots and herbs, do you work with crystals and stones in your work, or what other objects do you work with? I can't tell you all of that. One, two, three, four. If I tell you everything I work with and everything I got going on, then what is there to learn? Can I suggest a book? Listen, listen. Let me show y'all something. See my laptop right there? My laptop got a book in it, right? I wrote my book 2 years ago, I think, 2 years ago, and my book is actually done and completed. And my plan and my goal, for real, is to have my book out next month. Thinking like a root worker, the handbook to ancestral root working, and it's a very good book. I read it twice. I astounded myself in some of the ways that I wrote this book and some of the things that I put in the book, and I had it edited real good, and I'm going to self-publish the book. So y'all should be looking out. And I know I'm saying it. I wasn't supposed to even advertise it, but somebody asked about a book. But my book is coming out. It was going to be a surprise at the end of next month. It's like straight out of nowhere. Here go my book, y'all, straight out of nowhere. But I think I kind of put my foot in my mouth today, and I'm gonna let y'all know that, yeah, I do have a book, and my book will be out at the end of next month. I don't have a date, but it's going to be the last week of next month. Yes, Lord. You know what I mean? Thinking like a root worker, the handbook, the ancestral root working. I got a lot of spells in there, rituals and understandings that people need in order to build their own root working in it, and to build their path and root working, and reestablishing their ancestral lineage. So we're gonna definitely get that book out to y'all for sure and for certain. It's gonna be out. So Takia Jet, look out and pay attention. I'm gonna advertise it on YouTube when I come out with it. But thinking like a root worker, man. The handbook, the ancestral root working. Yep, the book is coming out. Sure did put my foot in my mouth, y'all. Yep. What's up, Melvin Brown? I see you on deck, man. I pretty much figured you got some questions you want to get at me. What? And like I say, man, I'm just sitting there looking at my present, man. I got from New Orleans. I like when people say me sticks and stuff from sacred trees, and I love when they say me that work. I got some dirt from Marie Laveau grave site, and man, I got that work in this box here. I got me some dirt from her grave. That's right, boy. But I did them, boy. They didn't dug it up. They ain't like I got a skull or nothing like that now. So don't go around on YouTube telling everybody, man, this man got Marie Laveau skull. I just got a little dirt from the head, from around the tomb. And it's going down the street. I got a place and something to do for it. Sure enough, for certain. Yeah, man, I ain't gonna call your name out, man, but good luck, bro. Good look, bro. I got that package. You already know what to do. Yeah, man. I came back in, man. The package was leaning up against the door. Shit, I'm like, bust it open. I'm like, what it do? You know what I mean? I'm ready. Y'all ain't got nothing to ask me. I'm just watching. Y'all ain't got nothing to ask me. Well, if nobody has anything to ask, y'all should be okay. SW what is it? Bring it. Let me hear it. What I'm doing for the new moon, you know when the new moon comes, I mean, it's endless on what you can do for the new moon. A lot of things you can do. Well, you want to know what to do for the new moon, or what are you trying to figure out? Talk to me. What are you trying to figure out about the new moon? Talk to me. Let me know. What's up? You say, how long do we burn the candles? I mean, in root working, it's not a matter of how long. It's not a matter of what day. It's not a matter of what time. It's a matter of what works, what's more applicable for your situation. When it comes to candles, right? It's not a certain candle. Like people like to, people color code, and I understand the color codings. I totally get it. Red is for this, blue is for that, yellow is for this, for that. But coming up as a traditional root worker, we never had the luxury, and the people that I was raised and taught by, we did not have the luxury of color-coded candles. All the candles were white or cream. You know what I mean? And for the most part, candles is a luxury, that after a while, when you could afford them, you could get it. But root workers before the use of the candles, they had firepower. And candles just became a lazy way, basically, of getting your firepower, your firework for what the things that you're doing. Um, but people use the fire of lamps and setting their own physical fire with certain ingredients and chemicals and stuff, setting up fire up so they can call on the spirits. That was one way it worked. You know, so when I see people use color codes and candles, there really weren't no ancient color codes. I think that they kind of came in with the modernization of everything. But for the most part, if you feel like you need to use a white candle for some love work, then you're not drawing on a color, because the color in the candle is just food coloring, for God's sake. It's just food coloring. So you're not drawing on none of that. You need to be drawing on the firepower and not the food coloring. But that's another topic. Another topic. Let me see if any more out there. Questions. Or what do we do with the jar from the dream once you have the dream? Well, discard of them. Discard of the jars. Yeah, I'll post that inside the comment section. But just discard it. Or you can keep it. Some people keep it. They put it outside. They bury it. You can bury it. One at your front door, one at your back door, if you have a home. Or take both bottles and bury it at the front, somewhere on the property, at the front of the property. You know what I mean? You can bury it or dispose of it. I wouldn't put it in a river. I would just put it in the woods somewhere. Yeah, you could dispose of it. And usually the disposal of a ritual, it just and like that, a ritual like that, it just kind of depends on what flows naturally for you. If you already work in your roots, you know what I mean? If you already work in your roots, then you should dispose of that energy the same way you normally dispose of energy, even though you get into actual work or the idea of work from me. So what I'm saying, dispose of it your way, because your way is the natural way that you dispose of energy. You need to be 100% totally comfortable with it. All right. Y'all gotta forgive me. That Paul out there drive me crazy. What crystals are good to charge your energy? I mean, just depends. Use quartz. If you don't, if you don't understand the nature of crystals like that, use quartz. You use quartz crystals. They're like a basic programming crystal that you can use to program with energy. It's like it doesn't come with any energy already on it, sort of, kind of, but it does. Crystals have energy already on it, but it's easily programmable. One of the most easily programmable crystals. So start. Um, yeah, I need to get some moringa, and I swear I need to get some. And I bypassed the moringa powder at the Botanica and store, and I still ain't getting that. Oh yeah, Path of a Goddess. Yeah, when you use the oil lamps, you got that. I mean, there's a formula for the oil lamps. There's a formula, and most families have their own formulas. Um, but we have one here too. Our family, my family, in particular, but we definitely have a formula for the oil lamps, and you put certain things in it for certain reasons. You can put the petition underneath, and for long-term work. Hold on, let me see. Let me read all your questions. You have an interesting question. When you use the oil lamp, do you put anything inside of them, or put the petition underneath them? How are they used for long-term work? I've been looking at one lately, but want to know how to use them. Um, the whole idea of the oil lamp, the oil lamp is a science, and you only can learn it from certain people who already know how to work it, because most of the modern practitioners don't know how to work the oil lamp at all, know how to make one or anything. Having that lamp is more than just putting oil and lighting it. There's a magical process, a ritual, ceremony, basically, that is done over the lamp and to the lamp for a specific amount of time, with a specific amount of things, to empower the lamp with the power of your ancestors, for the most part. And so once the lamp is empowered with the power of your ancestors, then you receive that lamp, you get the lamp, and you work with it. And you work with it, and you do readings with it. You do spell work on it, for the most part. And you house spirits in it. You see, you house spirits in it. That's why I say a certain ritual got to be done to it to conjure their spirits in it, and know that they're there, and ground the spirits. Make sure they're there and they're comfortable, because that's gonna be their resting home. So a lamp is technically an oil lamp, a hoodoo oil lamp is technically like a spiritual vessel. It's a vessel, but in this regard, it's an ancestral vessel where the power of your ancestors come through it. You channel the power of your ancestors through it. Someone said, I had somebody leave a quartz in my truck and bush in the windshield and still don't know what that means. Who did it? Well, I mean, if you have somebody leave a quartz crystal um, on your property, that could be a sign of witchcraft. I ain't lying. That could be sign of somebody trying to put that work on you. So you got to be kind of mindful about that. Um, and when you dispose of it, if I were you, if I find a crystal, a nice sized quartz crystal that's sitting around someplace it shouldn't be, it's probably somebody put that there. And because I would take a napkin, a white napkin, just a white napkin, and fill that napkin up with salt. Okay? Fill that napkin up with salt and grab it. Grab it and go take it and wrap it in a black bag. After you take the napkin and salt and throw it in a black bag, and then tie it up. Go to the dumpster, walk in front of a dumpster, and throw it over your left shoulder in the dumpster. That's what you want to do for that. Let's see what else we got. I just showing y'all a little something. Now don't get head over heels going around grabbing people crystals and throwing them. That's an emergency situation where somebody throwing something at you, and they got a crystal or suspicious looking stone sitting by your doorstep, or a suspicious looking stone sitting on your car or something like that. You don't want to touch it directly. You want to neutralize it. So you want to neutralize the energy on it so it don't affect you, because most tricks and stunts, that are placed in certain places are for people to touch. When you touch it, it activates. You see what I'm saying? So you don't want to touch it physically. So a trick to the trade when you see things like that, white napkin, fill it up with salt, and grab it with that napkin. Go to a dumpster throw it over your left shoulder. All right. Yeah, Tasha Hodges. If your sister passed away 7 years ago, she's definitely considered an ancestor. You can work with her. Yeah, yeah, and it's a whole process, but you should get with me about that. Okay, so I asked for a blockage reading. I think I need different. What you suggest? Um, I think you need SW. What? I think you need a spiritual guidance. I think you need some readings and stuff done for spiritual guidance to find out your path or what direction you need to go in, and you need to find your beginning point. Sometimes we want to jump straight to the middle. You know what I mean? But it's not always good to jump straight to the middle. Sometimes we need the beginning point and understand the basic fundamentals. So get with me on that, SW Watt. Path of God said, do you keep careful note written down of all your working, or do you feel it doesn't matter, like to keep track of specifics? That's a good question. I keep everything in my head. I don't write things down. I don't write things down. Too much appropriation going on out here. I don't be writing stuff down, but I do have a book that I wrote down with all of my stuff, everything, all of my stuff for my kids. I would suggest that you guys do the same. Write down all your work and everything that you done conjured and how it works and everything. Put it in a book and drop it in the safety deposit box. Yeah, in a physical book, put it in the safety deposit box. Because thumb drives might be irrelevant 100 years from now. You know what I mean? A book will never be irrelevant. But that's what we do. Drop that information and write it down and build on it. Miss Blue Love from Carolina. 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 Geechee. Okay, Miss Blue Love, you got a question for me? I'm waiting on your question. All right, what's the question out for me now? I'm still waiting. A grimoire is a great idea. Oh yeah, Takia Jet, a grimoire. Listen, let me tell you something. Um, I've been actually, I've been working with the grimoires for a long time. I'm talking about almost like 20 years. And one thing I can say interesting about the Clavicus Solomonis, um, the keys of Solomon, the lesser keys of Solomon, and the books of Moses, the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 book of Moses. They got a bunch of them they pulling out. But the books of Moses is very interesting, and it's something that is really being used by a lot of people in Obeah, and the keys of Solomon being used by people in Obeah, and a lot of people in the Afro-indigenous religion systems use the keys of Solomon a lot, a lot, a lot. So um, I think for the most part, there's an understanding when it comes from Gnostic Christianity, Gnostic, and the Kabbalists, the people that deal with the Kabbalah. They understand the different aspects of the spiritual workings of the Bible that a lot of people don't. You know what I mean? Because when we look at the book of Enoch, for example, the book of Enoch talks about the fallen angels that the Bible talks about. And then when we look at the keys of Solomon, we find that the fallen angels are the 72 fallen angels. And once we learn what the 72 fallen angels are, we understand a whole new reality. You see? The 72 angels are on the tree of life, the Kabbalah. And from the on the back of the tree of life is what? The tree of death, right? So we have 72 angels on the tree of life and 72 angels on the tree of death. tree of life is the front side of the tree. The tree of death is the back side of the tree. So let's look at this. Let's look at this. 72 plus 72 is how much? Somebody give me a number. I'm tired counting right now. Somebody give me a number. I need somebody to add it up for me. 72 plus 72 is how much? Somebody type it in for me. Exactly. That's 144, man. Exactly. So we dealing with the Kabbalah and we dealing with the 72 arch, the 72 angels on the tree of life. And then when we go through the Da'at is the middle, the center of a tree, the hidden spear in the tree of life. We go through it, we enter into the tree of death, which have 72 angels on the tree of death. When you take the complete balance on the whole tree, you add it up, it's 144, right? Doesn't the book of Revelations tell you that only 144,000 is going to be accepted? Now let's, ain't those Jehovah's Witnesses running around talking about only 144,000 people getting in heaven? The true science is if you understand the knowledge and the science of the 144 forces in nature, then you're amongst those that can enter the kingdom of heaven. Because you have the real science, the real knowledge, the real esoteric knowledge, the real esoteric power, the real literal power. Because you mastered the 72 spirits, the 72 spiritual forces from the tree of life, and you mastered the 72 spirits, the 72 spiritual forces on the tree of death. So you became amongst the 144. Okay? You became amongst them, those that know how to master the heavens and the earth. And that's why they only 144,000 will make it to 144. There's your number. Now, yeah, yeah. Now, so when we look at that, when we look at the tree of life, the Kabbalah, and all of that, that's what we seen. You know what I mean? We seen the knowledge and the science of the angels. Excuse me. But that's all for me right now, man. We're gonna talk about them grimoires and the books of Moses and the Keys of Solomon another time. But one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to have a class on it. So I don't know yet when I'm gonna do it, but I know I'm going to have a class on the books of Moses. You know what I mean? I want to talk to some people about working the seals and the sigils and how to work them stuff out of that book. You know what I mean? So we're going to get into it, and it's going to be a cool class, and we're going to get deep into that, and we're going to deal with some of the stuff with the Keys of Solomon too, because a lot of that has to do with root working, because a lot of it is biblical magic, and a root worker works their roots, works his juju, voodoo, work his hoodoo, and he also worked the biblical magic, man. So, we gonna be going down. We gonna be going down big time. But that's it for me. Man is a man. Y'all already know. I'll see y'all later. You know what I mean? We gonna pick it back up, and we gonna get back on some more things. So y'all take it easy. Be good. Peace.